What's up, WWE Champions Universe? Welcome to Champions Chat, the fastest growing podcast dedicated to the WWE Champions mobile game. I'm Viscera, Rusty Graves, and with me, as always, the Minister of Darkness, Lee Brown. What's up, Lee?
Wow, you went there. I'll be Taker, Mod Taker. You can be
Minister of Darkness, the
mod
things you never want to be called.
right. Yeah, let's not let that ever become my real nickname. That would be that means something went wrong along the ways.
Okay, Lee, I think I can with a clear conscience actually call us the fastest growing podcast again now that we're
Yeah,
producing consistent episodes that I
right.
think we are growing again. So I don't know if it's fastest. I think Two Bob's podcast is growing. I think Merrick's podcast is growing once again. So a plea to our listeners, if you have not yet subscribed, and if you have not yet annoyed your faction mates with spamming our content and pleading on our behalf for them to subscribe, um, go ahead and do that. This is your permission to be that guy,
Right.
the spammer, the guy that Rusty and Lee got a video about that.
Right.
Be that guy for like 2 months, okay? Help us out for like 2 months so that we can see our numbers reinvigorated and
Yeah.
and then we'll go back to the dust will settle and everybody will like you again. Um,
Right.
well, the question, as always, what's up, Lee?
Well, first of all, I just got to say we have a system now with our new OBS, which hopefully our voices are synced the way they should be. And we're doing a
Right,
Discord call because I don't have a Zoom account. So, and it's all working. Like I got the layout there. So we have a
right.
system where we can do this better than
Just
ever and start
you
playing
just
with
jinxed
it.
us. You
Yeah.
are the minister of darkness. You just the kiss of death. You jinxed us for sure. Like,
Wow.
look
It's
how
going to be
great
all out
everything's
of
working.
sync and oh no. Right? No. And I picked my
So,
nose on
so
stream and all sorts of stuff. It
right.
just fell
Well, and
apart.
we had really grown to be basically like a kung fu movie with like delayed like, with my lips moving like 5 seconds after the
Interesting.
audio. I grew up
Right?
watching those Saturday afternoon like Bruce Lee movies.
Poorly dubbed.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so I've got some show notes. We're gonna talk about
We have a plan.
um like you've been really high on this like the new meta's coming. So we're gonna talk a
Yeah.
little bit about like who do we think is a worthy investment should that new meta arrive soon.
Right.
And maybe some characteristics to look for as you probably I'm going to say I'm a little suspicious as to when the new meta is going to come. I'm thinking potentially August SummerSlam-ish.
Oh, wow.
Lee is thinking more
Next month.
like or that
June,
it
July.
already would have happened. Like
Right.
initially you thought it might have happened in May.
That's true.
So we'll talk about that. We're
Mm.
going to talk about this week-long contest. There was an issue, an oopsie, as we've kind of historically come to know them. Did they get it right? Did they not get it right? What do you like about it?
Yeah.
And then what do we like about week-long contests, or what do we not like about week-long contests? Because it really feels like they're here to stay,
Right.
doesn't it? It really feels like they're here to stay. Um, and then I think we can review, if we have time, Saturday Night Main Event and see what was it a glorified Crown Jewel house show or was it more? Um,
Right.
I would say it was more. It exceeded expectations, but we'll get there should we have time
Yeah.
at the end. So which one are you gonna do first? New meta, week long contest, or the oopsie?
Well, I think the Oopsie and the Weeklong are the most current, and then I think the long-standing content, like you got to stick around for who's gonna make it to the next meta, because that's where you're gonna like get the long-term benefit. But let's do with the grabby
Right.
stuff first. Like, there was an Oopsie, Rusty, and you know how the Oopsies go. Sometimes well, and
Yeah.
sometimes they take everything back, and Rusty gets
Right.
red in the face and says, "Don't
Oh
touch
man.
my." Yeah, remember Rusty rants? I had to do
Get
a
your dirty fingers out of my inventory, Scopely.
right. We had an episode where we did that right as we were having conversations with them to become official content creators, and I was like, "Oh, we just
Yeah,
like they're not going to take us now. We just got
sure.
kicked off the team right there before we even got there." But they kept
Yeah.
us. They or let us come on, whichever works
Our
for that.
official name when we were thinking we might be becoming like Team Scopely, like Lee thought it was just going to be called Lee Talks to Himself because the other guy didn't make it. The other guy didn't get the invite. So it's just going to be called Champion Chats with Himself.
Right. Wow. Boy,
so
may it never
so
be.
so Pacific Power week-long contest started with what was supposed to have been a single node
Right?
CSS with the big boss man, and you got like 400K points or something like that. Well, it
Wednesday.
was
It was supposed
supposed
to be today you got those points. It wasn't even supposed to be yesterday you got those points.
right,
Or yeah.
and the points were supposed to be limited to one.
Right.
Um, most of the community figured I did not. I was watching Lilo and Stitch with my kids in the movie theater. I totally missed like that the gates were open. So like I
Right.
got to the phone about 7 p.m. like and I like figured it out and then told and then like checked, to see if anyway, everyone knew,
Right.
and I was
Right.
like, oh, I bet I missed it. Well, I
Right.
didn't miss it, and I was able to max the week long contest and
Right.
get to milestone 60 on day one or two of the contest. Um, I have about, I don't know what, 30K prize wall medallions. So like I could
Ooh.
grab a heat
You
if I
could grab the
wanted.
heat.
But there was this, and let's just go back in time, Lee. I had this uneasy feeling of like, this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us all a free eat day one of this
Right.
week long contest. Like, hold your breath, folks. Or the new Big Boss Man, plate that does
Right.
every color
The botch
botch
heat.
damage.
Yeah.
The big botch man is what it should have been called.
That's what it's
Um,
called.
oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the name of the plate, the Big Botch Man.
Perfect. Um,
You could be on the
so
marketing team. I love it.
that was really low hanging fruit, though. So I think we all collectively held our breath,
Mm-hmm.
and um, they sent out a message, an in-game message saying, "Keep it." In fact, we're gonna in fairness to the community, we're gonna let everybody have a chance to do this. We won't
Yeah.
close it till tomorrow at reset. So
Which means everybody beat
someone,
the tour, the entire week long event
right?
instantly. Like, well, within an
Well, can I
hour.
just say, Lee, someone is listening right now and just realized
I could have
that
done
they
that.
did not match the contest. Someone out there is like furious right now. Like, are you kidding me?
Whew.
It's our friend Miss T from the Black Pearl. She's just
She's
heard the
like,
news.
what? I could have sent this out to the whole faction. Well, before we move on from the subject, though, let's just talk about the history, the inconsistent history of
Boy.
botches in here, because
Yeah,
sometimes Scopely is more generous than we think they will be and doesn't roll these things back, leaves the gates open like they did this one. There's been times
right.
like the Piper one when the Piper plate came out where they just let everybody say, here, just pick one of these things for free and move on. There has been other times where they rolled back the entire thing, including
Right,
any evolves that people made during that time,
right.
did not give the resources and close down like the ability to get those resources again. So there's been some different ways things have been handled in the past. So would you say
Well,
this was a good way to handle it or a bad way to handle it?
okay, so while we're talking about the history, they took back the final boss rock, which
Yeah.
is exceedingly less valuable than a
Right.
heat plate.
Yeah.
Okay, um, so did they get it right? Did they get it? Okay, so for the community, yes, they got it right. For by and large, across the community, this was a great move by Team Scopely. I think they really weighed the decision. I have no knowledge of what the conversations looked like and who even was having them.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they said, let them keep it, green light.
Yep.
And we'll even continue it and let everyone have a chance to do it.
And then they
So
opened
that's
up
a
a
win
new
for me.
event because that event was
Right.
functionally done. And it even said in the message, like, please keep playing. There's more reason, like, because daily engagement is, I think, one of their metrics that they care about, they pay attention to. And so that would just tank engagement if everybody's
So did
done within the first hour of a week long event.
so did they
Whoops.
get it right for me? For
Yeah.
me as a
For
player?
Rusty.
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh. You
Um,
want them to have taken it back.
no, well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that would feel bad. I would have been pretty ticked. But I don't like that I got all of the contest points. And so now these tours are rolling out each day that I don't need the points for because I've already maxed it. And so
But now it
I
counts towards the penultimate event that they added in. So at the very least, you're getting more Viscera shards that theoretically
okay.
wouldn't have gotten. And if you likely spend, let's be honest, you could get the Viscera plate, which I'm guessing they were going to roll out for the weekend event and went, oh crap. And now it's here.
Well, the plate is disgusting, first of all. Did you look at
What does
it?
that
It's
mean?
just, have you seen, like,
I've seen
optically,
it.
have you put eyes on the graphic of the plate? Uh, you might have been the character model for this. It looks like the eye of
Of Sauron.
Sauron.
Yes, exactly. Like,
Um,
except not on fire. So it's like before he got angry.
but also it's just an eyeball.
Mm,
That's it. It's just an eyeball. And it's a kind of a photorealistic eyeball.
it
And
is.
yet it's brown. And I can't help but wanting to call it the brown eye plate. So
Well, we did try to make the JD McDonough plate something else. The
the dribbles drip, the tip drip. And then we
the
got the brown
chocolate
eye
drip.
plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the chocolate drip, and now you got the old brown eye attaching to the belt too. Um, somebody out there is having a good laugh with that. But
Wow.
I think the plate seems interesting. When you make one or more heal gems, increase all of your gem damage by 200% for one turn. Is Acrodom back? Does this save Acrodom?
Well, every time you trigger that, maybe, I mean, maybe that's a
Yeah,
video we can make together or
right.
something here. I don't, or I was thinking like Rey Mysterio, Mask of Mystery, or Solo Sokoa, the one that never actually got good, that was like this close to being
Oh,
really good.
I like him. I think he's good. Um, yeah. So I would love to see if this saves Acrodom, one of my
Yeah,
favorite
of course.
all-time
I,
superstars. So for you, did they get it right? I
well,
answered.
I mean, if they hadn't put out this new tour thing, the penultimate event, like which I'm convinced was a scramble, a good scramble. I mean, like I say, they could have just said, "Screw you, we're taking everything back, start over." But I mean, without that, I wouldn't have really had much to do. I do wonder because, like, I'm doing the showdown right now, and I'm like, does the showdown count towards that? Because it's nestled under the other ones, so
Right. Right.
maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't done enough with the showdown yet to say like, oh yeah, that was really. But if they all kind of still cascade together, that's good. And then I will admit, despite Merrick's incredibly well done and persuasive video about not buying the moment if you don't have anything FOMO, and I didn't feel like I had FOMO, I did go ahead and buy the $115 step ups in order to get the Undertaker moment, the Ministry of Darkness moment, and all that. But there was literally not a single character in the loot that I needed, and it didn't count towards anything. And now today, it actually counts towards something. So
Oh,
that so now I'm further along because of that, so I feel good. The For me, the as weird as it is, because I love doing loopholes, the loopholes were not even a factor in me buying that, basically buying a mega, and now they are worth something, so that's
was
good.
it because you're buying the moment? I mean, is that why?
Basically,
Because
yeah,
essentially
it's
it's buying the moment.
because I
And
can't get anything in the loot. There's not a single character I need, so there's no mystery
is
of
it
like, ooh, could I even get shards for this person? Literally, there's not a single character in there I need.
So yeah, I will say this: I don't really have the margin to spend in this contest,
Right.
um, and because of that, it's actually it's causing me to rethink what I'm going to claim off the prize. Well, I haven't claimed anything yet,
Right.
but I think because everybody's getting shiny new moments, I think I'm leaning more towards the Wyatt versus
Ooh.
American Alpha moment. And I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a grab because
Okay.
I have a Yeet and I got the modern Yeet Maker strap from the Armory loot
Ooh.
this month. So I'm gonna have the ability to move that Yeet around.
Ooh.
Um, so I think I'm okay bypassing a second Yeet and the
Hmm.
Botchman stuff. It just doesn't. It's not there for me yet.
Right.
I'm sure someone will come out and we'll all go, no, no,
That
right?
one.
Like,
Right.
if only we had that plate, and it could
Right.
just be as early as this weekend that we see a new superstar too. So who
Well,
knows?
no, because Viscera's this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, Viscera's the
okay.
weekend character because technically you
You think
can't
Viscera will
get
be the
him.
boss? You think Viscera will be the boss? They're gonna switch out Cena for Viscera,
I assume so. I that was weird to me. I'm like, they already announced Viscera. Usually they save that spot because they haven't announced the person, but
right?
I'm assuming it's Viscera, but who knows? I mean, even if it's Cena, Viscera could be one of the ones that does really well. And, the FOMO that Merrick's talked about in his video for, like, if you have the moment, it's going to make a huge difference this weekend. So I'm assuming that that has to do with Boss Battle, I would guess. And
I don't know.
I don't have Viscera. So who knows? Who knows?
I I'm
So,
I'm probably not going to spend on this event at
yeah.
all. So here's my take. Let's do kind of point for point.
Okay.
The week-long contest format. It feels like it's here to stay. So
Yeah.
do we want to see more of these? Do we like them? Do we not like them? And feel free to speak from the perspective of someone who's spending on these contests, and maybe
Right.
I'll speak from the perspective of somebody who's
Not.
just really not engaging much with spending
Right.
at this point. So I mean, outside of this oopsie, I
Right.
don't think I would I don't think I would certainly have um the ability to get one of the top shelf items
Right.
off the prize wall. I don't think that was intended. I'm not sure that I would have been able to like max the contest and all the bonuses. But I really like everything except the daily loot spend contests
Yeah.
about week long events. That's the only thing about a week long event that I just am not. Um, but for spenders, I mean,
Right.
so that's my take. Is like I like the contest. I want them to stay. I don't want to see them put licensed characters in those week long contests. I don't want them to be the only opportunity we
Yeah.
have. When will I ever get Raphael? Maybe never.
Yeah.
Literally, maybe never. I
It's
may
very possible
never see
now.
him again. Um, and that just seems like put him on the UCC or put him in the loot or something, right?
Right.
Like I don't know.
They can't
So
with the licensed characters once they lose the license or runs out. But you would think, yeah, I mean, that drives that incentive, it drives that FOMO to get them right then. But remember, Shredder was free if you
right,
played that week long. This one is not quite the same, although it's a 3,000 recruit. And there was originally 900 shards, and now there's more because of the oopsie, and then whatever happens this weekend. So maybe you can get Viscera at some point for free, but certainly not by, I don't think, by this weekend like Shredder was. But I agree. I like the week long format. I especially like the week long format being the last week of an MLC, because by the last week of the MLC, like, I'm kind of ready for the next thing, and this like satiates me without them actually having to start a new MLC. Like, it gives you that oh, okay, this is a fun, it breaks the norm, whatever. So like week 4, week 5, depending on the MLC, I'm fine with there. I like there being a week long. I like that there's a new character to chase, even if it's like the focus isn't getting that character right now. There's plates galore. My goodness, like 12 now,
Right.
because they announced 11 plates, and then all of a sudden, like I was at work and I can see Discord pinging, like while I'm in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bathroom, I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, Rusty's saying, when will we get that new plate to do gameplay on? I'm like, what? Which one? We have all 11. Oh, there's
Right.
12. There's 12
Right.
freaking plates this week. Wow.
Yeah, 'cause there's a whole new cycle of Ninja Turtle-esque plates as well, where like you break
Oh, the
purple,
purple ones.
you get, and they're not Ninja Turtles, but they're the same design
Right.
concept, right? Where it's like
Yeah. That
the
debuted with
the
the TMNT ones.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
titanium plate where you
Right.
break whatever, like I think it's like
Purple make
four or six.
green. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that's purple and black is really interesting to me for Braun Bakar,
Ooh.
because of his purple and black MP plate, the
Right.
corporate that now
Crown.
he can almost fully recycle now off of the purple and black.
Wow.
So which is that's kind of a cool step up, and that's what he
Okay.
was lacking, was the ability to recycle. Um,
Right. Hmm.
okay, can I just circle back to one thing?
Please do.
And I'm with you on understanding about the licenses. I'm tracking with you. I understand it creates an immediacy to spend or to acquire, but
Yeah.
if I had a magic wand, I would say this: do not put important evergreen entourage abilities on licensed stuff.
Right.
Um, like the 200%
Power gem.
power gem. That was too good to be on a limited offering. That was
Yeah.
just too good. Now I can cope. I can be a big boy that they gave us the free Kofi Angelo and he has 150%, but it's a trainer, therefore it takes an MP spot, therefore it's far less usable. Um,
True.
so another great example. I love Turtle Donatello. And like the most perfect entourage member that I could ever dream up for him is attached to Casey Jones, Cody Rhodes. It's create two purple MP, give 50% to green gym damage.
Right.
And I was like,
Whoops.
they not only did they paywall it, but it was licensed, so we'll just never see that entourage ability.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
Or like
Now,
Rocky 4, which is 100% to all gym damage. 100%
yeah,
to all gym
right,
damage. So if
right.
you've got him, you have a distinct advantage, and you'll never
Forever.
see him again. Yeah.
And you'll have that advantage. It's evergreen. You'll have it forever.
Yeah.
I can see the value in that.
Yeah.
Now, um, if they finish, now here's the silver lining. If they finish the cycle that they started with these Hall of Fame superstars, if we get the blue and the purple, if we get two purple MP,
Yeah.
and then 40% to all gem damage plus the 75% increased kick out plus the whatever it is, more health. Um, yes. Yes. Great.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Hmm.
Donatello becomes, top of meta trickster the day that Hall of Fame, I'm assuming they're going to keep it Hall of Fame entourage. But please, if anyone from Scopely's listening, do not put evergreen powerful entourage abilities on licensed stuff,
That's going
because
to go away at some point.
yeah, it just affects the game in a negative way, in my
Right.
opinion. It
Agreed.
affects the game negatively, and for the duration of the game, they're not gonna slap 200% power gems on anybody else anytime soon. They're like, nah, hey, you should have bought Raphael when you had it. You should have gone harder.
Right.
I was like, well,
Or Seth
how do I?
Leonardo. Like a lot of the community doesn't have Seth Leonardo, and he is, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
one of the most
I
important coaches in the game. Period.
a lot of people had to choose between the two. A lot
Yeah.
of people got, and I'm one of them. I'm not woe is me. I got to choose, and I chose Leonardo. I think I made the right choice, but like, come on, like I just want my disciple, right, to be like that's why I want Raphael is for the disciple, because he is just
Uh,
insane with Raphael. I mean,
right.
I think people got a lot out of this month. I think if we really pump the brakes and look back at May, we'll go, that's a month we got a lot of really good free stuff.
Yeah.
We got a
Agreed.
lot of really good. We're gonna get tomorrow, either tomorrow or Friday, we're gonna get the final free plate coin to redeem for the new barber
Barber's
shears.
blades. Yeah.
What color barber shears do you think people should choose? Like hot
Well,
quick
it depends. Quid pro what? That's a different thing.
is that what it's called? Quid pro quo? Where it's like, give me a quick take. I
No,
don't
that's a
know.
sexual harassment term where I suggest you do something for me if you yeah. Quid pro
Okay,
quo.
I'll look it up. Quid pro quo. I remember
This for
Hannibal
that is
Lecter.
literally what it means. This for that. Like if you do this, I'll give you that. And it's
uh,
usually used in sexual
I
harassment.
remember Hannibal Lecter says that a favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something. Okay,
Yeah.
I was 10 years old, 9 years old when I saw Silence of the Lambs for the first time,
Yeah.
and so I always thought that meant like remember on Speed Pop Quiz Hot Shot,
Right.
so like I always thought like give me a quick answer. Okay, so it means, hey Lee, tell me which barber shears plate the community should take, and they will like and subscribe to this video and help you meet your goals.
Wow. Way to save that one. Yeah, so it obviously depends on who you're going for. For me personally, I am focusing on the yellow and the green because green
Hello.
for last time is now Cena. I really want to put that on him and see what he can do with that, even though I did make a video already, so I know what he can do. And then the yellow for Memrock because with this moment and the Rock versus Stone Cold moment that they made, Memrock is now possibly the most powerful Rock in the game. So,
What?
yeah.
That's
There's like
wackadoo, bro.
5 moments for that guy. Um,
Right,
Plus now the yellow barber blade, which I didn't even there wasn't even the moment when I did the video for Memrock on the yellow barber blade, and he was already hitting
right.
insane damage. So like if I remember correctly, there's three, but there's at least two, but there might be 3 moments that do 50% all gem protection, like gem damage reduced for your opponents. There is a 100% trap gem damage from one of them. Yellow gems do 200% more damage from another. Yellow gems do 100% more damage from another. All gems do 50% more damage from another, something like that. But either way, if you start stacking moments on Memrock, he's the new Voltron. Like he's like Powerhouse Hogan, where if you have everything, all of a sudden he is insane. And for this boss, with yellow gems being buffed and having to break yellow gems, might be Memrock time.
Do you think they knew that, did you stumble on that, or did they know what they were doing, or did they do something they're going to undo?
I don't. I mean, those moments are all expensive. Like the Stone Cold versus the Rock, you have to have the 3 tokens for. I am obviously a spender. I have 2 of them. I don't have that moment. You have
I
0.
have
Free to
zero.
play, you have 0. And then the moment from this weekend was $115, verifiably, because I bought it. It was $115 for that one moment. So obviously that does more than Memrock stuff, but Memrock 3 or 4 universal moments that all buff his stuff now. So Buff Bagwell's good
Interesting.
again. Yeah.
Puff Bagwell.
I said buff his
Um,
stuff. Buffs the stuff.
so wow. Okay, so this is breaking news because I didn't know this information. Um, and I'm
Mem's good. The best
so if
rock
you're
now.
if you're out there listening, yeah, you'll probably begin to notice that the dynamic that Lee and I had in the beginning, we are once again have that dynamic where Lee is playing and spending to a level I'm not. where I'm starting to dabble more in Magic the Gathering again, and I'm like,
It is like the
so
old
like
days.
when I ask a question, it's like genuinely not a softball. It's like, no, I really didn't know that, which is
Right.
kind of what made our show, I think, worth listening to, is because I
Right.
played the everyman, the Midwestern rube that didn't know, and you played the savvy gamer. So I think we're kind of getting our dynamic back, which is
Right.
maybe magic inside of that. Um,
Right.
okay,
Well, if we ever do a
so
Magic the Gathering podcast, that would be the exact opposite. It'd be me going, "What is that, Rusty? How do you? Why do I
yeah.
tap cards? I don't want to tap that. How do I? Yeah.
And just side note,
Whoa.
on our Discord server, those of you who may not be part of our Discord server, or maybe you are part of our Discord server and you didn't know this, we have a new channel just for Magic the Gathering conversation in the Champions Chat Discord. I didn't realize how many people in the community like played and were really savvy towards the game. Great
Yeah.
J-Man Gaming is even making like Magic content,
Videos.
doing
Yeah.
product reviews. Yeah, some of the guys, it was kind of funny. Like Flex popped in there and was like, "What is
What is
this?"
this? Yeah. Like.
So that's fun. So we're talking Magic on the Champions Chat Discord. All right. So for those of you who have stayed tuned for this feature segment. Um, Lee is thinking that the new meta is coming soon. I'm open to that. I don't know. I think they've got their hands full right now, and we'll probably see it in a few months. But there are characters that are going to be worth investing in now because we think will have longevity into the next meta.
Yep.
Um, we don't want to lead you astray. We're not your roster coaches. We don't want you to curse us because you brought up that Viscera and then the next meta disappointed you. But Lee, what are you thinking as far as like, is this a risky time to make big roster moves, or especially if you're a newer player that's just trying to like stabilize and get competitive? What are your thoughts on all this?
Well, I think every time there's a new meta, there's some things that are pretty consistent. Like, for example, um, there is either move or gem damage that gets a huge buff. Usually it's gem damage, but not always. Sometimes it's move damage. I've said a couple times, Merrick's thinks that the next move meta will be a move damage meta, that gems won't go as up as much. Health usually roughly doubles. Last time it was 2.5 times. So the idea is, what characters are future proof? Because you're one way or another, something is likely to come. I mean, we saw a lot of people. Our video on is 7-star coming is one of our top performing videos of this last month. Lots of
Clickbait.
comments. Lots of comments.
You're
What's that?
clickbaiter. You're clickbaiter.
I was clickbaiting. Not intentionally. Like, I legitimately wanted to have the conversation because I think it's important for people to know. Like, okay, so here's
Are
my
we being
case.
canceled? Are we being canceled? That's gonna be the name of this episode.
Wow. My
Speaking of
case
clickbait.
is, I finally got Triple HDX Army. He was a move damage guy.
Uh,
I rushed and got him up with all my resources, and then the next meta was not move damage, and he was
right,
not as relevant anymore.
right.
So
Poor
if you
Rock
have
and
limited
Rome.
resources, you want to spend them wisely in this next couple months,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Rock and
Makes
Roman
sense.
was another heartbreaker.
Yeah,
He
I
just
loved it.
expired so quick. We're like, no.
Right.
Um, so what do you think is, are there any abilities or features to a superstar that would make them meta proof? Is
Yes.
that possible to say?
Yes. I think they're, well, more meta proof than others. Like, okay, so let's take out whether or not the next meta is move damage or gem damage. Let's just say that doesn't matter for right now, because I know controversially that's going to be the thing, right? Let's say health pools go 2.5 times. So right now, the average top end health. Like showboats really get above this a little bit. Like let's just say 100 million. 100 million is usually like 75 is probably more realistic, but let's just go ahead and say it's 100 million for this argument. Let's say the health pool goes 2.5 times again. That means the new average will be 250 million health pool. So that means a character right now at 6-star gold that can do 250 million damage is instantly meta proof, in my opinion. So, like for example, you can't see this, I've got up on screen here, but Great Dudenator Sammy, with some things, he averages about 360 million turn one, right? So I don't think he's
Wow.
going anywhere. I think even if they increase health pools 3 times, he's still going to be okay, right? But then go down a little ways here. Where's he at? He's in my lineup. That's why. To Hogan, Immortal Hogan does about 400 to 500 million against normal characters, and against Acro does 800 to 900 million. So, with all of his things, Powerhouse Hogan is pretty much future proof. William Regal, Kevin Owens. I would make an argument that Julius Creed is now future proof. I think Roman OTC. I think Jey Uso Yeet. I think Jacob Fatu. I think these characters are all doing enough damage right now that they could take down 7-star bronze opponents theoretically already.
Okay. Well, okay. So let me throw this one. Here's a name. The first name that comes to mind is one of my most powerful superstars,
Okay.
one that I chased really hard and did not get, and then redeemed from the UCC for 700,000 medallions or whatever it's called, is Hip Hop
Hip
Cena.
Hop Cena. I knew you were going to say I don't have Hip Hop Cena, so you're going to have to tell me, Rusty, because I don't remember what is his. He's move damage based. What's his big
Yeah.
hit? What's he hit for?
Uh, I'm not sure because no one's ever lived through
Oh,
it.
well, that's okay. So that's good. So it's at least 75 million. It's at least 75 million right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say it's triple digits for sure, and it's
okay.
probably into the over 150 million
Okay.
move damage.
So then I would say that puts him in a strong, strong position for the next, especially if Merrick's is right and it's move damage. So let me explain that real quick. So in a gem damage meta, they have typically doubled the amount of damage gems do. So like for example, going to 6-star gold, it from 6-star silver, gems did 2x the damage what they were doing, but health pools went up 2.5 times. So it was like this versus
Right.
this, like it was close, right? In a move damage meta, gems typically go up like 16-17%. That's just a rough making up numbers kind of thing, not actually accurate, but they go up a little bit. And then move damage goes up quite a bit higher. But typically with move damage metas, the old move damage guys stay pretty close to where they are, and then they introduce new characters that do more than that. But let's say the health pool is 200 to 250 million. If Hip Hop Hustler is doing 150 million and they buff move damage even by 10 or 20%, he's still pretty much turn oneing all health. I mean, give or take. So, yeah,
Okay. Um, Here's another question for you: Is are multi gems meta proof? Because
typically,
they'll scale
yes.
up, right? They'll scale
Yeah.
up with gem damage totals.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. So if the damage of your gems is 2x, the way multi gems works is it functionally like if you do a 2 times multi gem, you have one gem and now it's two, so it's 2 gems. So you get double the whatever gem damage you have. So whatever the number on your, I've got it on screen right now. I know you can't see it, but like I've got OTC Roman, so his big color is black, but he makes purple gems, right? So purple gems are 41,000 right now, and he makes them times 19 to times 23 depending on what coaches you do, 18 to 23 depending on which coaches you do. So that means there's 18 of those gems stacked up. Well, if each one of those gems is doing 200% more, you're creating copies of 200% more damage. So no matter what, multi gems tend to scale. The big question will be the number of multi, because it used to be Times 7. Remember when the drip plate was a big deal? Times 7
Right.
multi gems were like insane. And now
Right.
you regularly have top tier characters that do times 20 to 25 as their multi
Right.
number. So that'll
Uh,
change. But
so how
overall, that's
about
the most meta proof of all the gem types.
so if that's true, if what you're saying is true about multi gems, the same would, and maybe I'm correct me if I'm wrong here, the same would also be true of boost percentage, like okay, green gems do 300% more damage. So like the new
Oh,
Cena,
yeah.
right? So
Right.
like there that move is designed to whatever the base damage is of the gem,
Right.
it's going to boost it. So if the base
Mm.
damage rises,
Right.
it'll still do 300% commensurate with the base. And so now it will do more and more and more. So do you
Right.
think people that have that kind of move are also safe investments? Or does the logic break down or does the math break down?
No, it works because it goes off the base. So when the base goes up, that's what makes the other ones go. Because you'll notice on a lot of these things, it'll say does not impact, bonus damage or whatever it is like that. What it's saying is it only attacks the base or attaches to the base damage. So again, like going back to Roman real quick, his base damage for purple gems is 41,711 at maxed out 6-star gold. If that then goes up to 83,000 in the next meta, then the 300% boost you're talking about is 300% of the 83,000. That's the number it attaches to. Then your other plates and things like that go on top of it. When it says does not affect bonus damage, like if you have a plate that then adds another 200% of that, the move goes before the plate, right? Or both of them kind of hit at the same time, but they both hit on the base damage, not stacking. Because if they stacked, it would just be exponential damage. But a good example, going back to someone we mentioned earlier of how that works, is Powerhouse Hogan. Powerhouse Hogan had a 45% boost on his move, on his gem damage from his move before, and then they changed it, and now it's 350%. So that one change is what made Hulk Hogan, the Immortal, go from, yeah, he was good at one time to, oh, he's one of the top characters in the game, period, if you have a few things. So that's kind of that
Okay,
works.
so let's just rattle off some names
Okay.
because maybe our listeners out there are like, yeah,
I don't
but
have those
so
guys, but
I understand. They're saying like, okay, I understand the matrix, but I'm looking at my roster right now and I want to know who is safe,
okay.
right? Who
You
the
rapid
first name
fire and I'll try and figure it out.
I was gonna say the first name that comes to mind for me is Naomi, striker Naomi,
Okay.
because
Turn of
she
the
she
globe.
boosts she boosts green gem damage by
Yep.
like 200%,
300.
and if you have her gear, it's like another 200%,
Yep.
right? Or 300% is
Yeah,
her
it's
move. So she has
300%. I don't have her gear, but it does 300 again. So it's 600%. Although, again, it's not stacking because it goes off the base damage. So it's 300% of the base damage and 300% of the base damage. It's not
yeah,
600%. So, like, when I worked at Sears when I was in high school, we would do promotions like this, and people would go, well, that's 45% off. And I'd go, well, I'm not a math guy, but that's not how it
right.
works because it does it all off the base. So it's this one, then this one, then this one, and you start to see diminishing. So it's like it doesn't quite equal to 600% because both of them hit the base, not the boosted number. Otherwise, it would just blow it out of the water. But yeah, I think she's going to be more than fine. I don't have her gear. I
Okay.
do have her plate, but I don't have her gear. But 300%, I think, is fair. I think we're going to see a day where, I mean, just think about, again, in Hogan's era, it was 45%, and that was a big deal. I think we're going to see a day. I don't think it's coming right away, but I think we're going to see a day where 300% boosts don't hold up as well as we hope. But I think that's at least,
Wow.
I don't think that's right away in the next meta. I think that's a little ways away, I hope.
because I was going to throw out another name like CM Punk,
Oh, I love
right?
Zombie
Who's
CM
kind of
Punk.
top of meta powerhouse, and he does
Right.
450% a gym boost, all color gyms,
Yeah.
450%. That just seems how can you nerf that? That's unnerfable, right? I mean, like I would think, or at least in the
Yeah.
next year or so,
I hope.
that's a safe investment, right?
So
Come
it's like
on.
the drip plate. You remember when 7X was, oh my gosh, seven times multi gyms are the biggest thing in the world, and now they're 23X. At
Oh man.
some point, like, okay, so let's go with another good example. Somebody who's absolutely future proof, and I think for a very long time, is Muda. Muda boosts purple gems by 999%. I think that's what we're going to start seeing in another meta or maybe a
Oh
little beyond the next meta. But I think it's going to move more towards those kind of numbers in the
yeah.
next year or two. Hopefully not in the next month or two. We'll see.
Those
We'll see.
Royal Rumble plates might be increasingly valuable if
Oh my
that's
gosh,
true,
yeah.
right? If you have
Right.
a way to make 30 plus gems
Right.
on that kind of you said Jacob Fatu. I'm curious about that. Is it because he makes the multis
Mm-hmm.
on his purple and blue move set?
Yep. Yeah, because his multiply gems, there we go. If you have his gear, they go up by four.
Okay.
Entourage, let's see here. So the base of them is what? 30 multiply gems into purple, into blue gems, 7 by 1 into pyro. Okay, multiply by 6. So they're at least strength 10. And then you add
If you have
Sherry, they're 14.
if you have the moment, four more as
Oh, that's
well.
right. The moment is four more. Yeah, so they're at least 14 if you have gear and moment. Sherry makes
Okay.
18, and then Raphael or Leonardo makes 21. So times 21 gems is the or multi gems. That's OTC Roman level. That's some of the new guys that we're seeing like Viscera level. So I think that he's going to be okay at least for this next meta. I don't know that the times 21 is going to last for 2 or 3 years, but I think for at least this next meta, he's going to be
So
okay.
here's a wild one for you.
Okay.
Let's take it down a notch. Bionic Redneck Steve Austin. He only boosts red gem damage by 140% on his
Right.
finisher.
Yeah. So he is one like I've heard you say several times like he's your favorite powerhouse, your best powerhouse, things like that. I had already okay, so I didn't want to say this in chats where you'd put it cuz I'm not trying to like what do you usually say don't yuck your yum or whatever like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. My
I may have stopped using him like almost a year ago, 6 months ago. Like I
I,
haven't, but this is another one where the X factor in all of this is how many moments does he have now? Like I have
right,
two. I have the Beer
right.
Bath Corporation and I have Brett versus Austin at WrestleMania 13, the not like the $20 version
Yeah,
when they sold it.
that's the ones I have. That's the
Yeah.
two I have. Yeah.
But he's on new moments now. He's on I don't know what other ones. Like I thought he was on the new. He's on the Austin versus Rock moment that I don't have. That I have 2 out of 3 for. So he's on that one again. But weirdly, it boosts yellow gems, which is why Memrock is better. The beer bath. That's the other moment that Memrock uses. Is the yeah. So
Yeah.
that's 200%
Mm.
yellow gems. So Austin with the sheriff's badge got a buff that way. Same with his other
Okay.
new moments. So he's one where he's coming back into the picture. Like he left my top powerhouse rankings, but then now again, expensive new stuff. But if you keep getting those new things, he goes right back into the picture. So I don't know that he's going to survive the next meta shift, but those moments are all universal percentage based moments.
Right.
You've got the the what's it called, the blast plate where it makes multi gems now and all. I mean he might. I'm gonna put him as a maybe. I'm gonna put him as a if they keep giving him things, he might stick around in there. But you know who else might is Striker Stone Cold because they keep giving him stuff where I'm like, free tier
Yeah. The
Striker Stone Cold is gonna be the best Stone Cold in the game now.
Yeah, so I won't name this superstar, but I'm curious what you think about this. If someone had, let's say they could make like 40 random pyro gems, right?
Okay,
And then make everything above it, I don't know, one color.
purple.
And then what if they could boost that color by 280%? And
Okay.
what if you had like a Piper's plate?
Oh. Well,
Could
then I really
destroy
need to look.
destroy 2 rows of damage, thus making essentially the whole board turn that boosted color 280%. How does that feel to you? Good or bad? And do
Well,
you know which star I'm describing?
is it Solo Sokoa?
It is almost a Goa.
Showboat. So if they make a purple Piper plate, because my goodness, how many characters use purple gems for multis and
Right.
pyros, and they don't boost those two colors for any of those plates? But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. I mean, again, Solo's one. He was move damage based, like as his big move when he came out, and that very rapidly went like that's not quite good enough. Now he's using the pyro build, and he can get there. And again, they keep adding things that
And
are going to keep making him better. So
the only
maybe.
people that are using his move damage are the people that somehow have that Ghostbuster yellow plate, which is
Speaking of
very few
things,
of us.
right.
Very few. If someone has that plate, they're probably not listening to this podcast because they could teach us
That's
everything
not
about the
true.
game.
I know several people who listen to this podcast who have that plate, but doesn't mean they're also not people who teach me a thing or two on Discord whenever I ask, like, hey, how does this work? And then we put it in videos and I credit them. So, yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just like as I look at my roster, um, I don't feel like I'm ready for that next meta. I don't feel like I have a ton of people. They're just like, oh yeah, I've got this,
Yeah,
that, that. Because like Ozzy, for example, like he probably won't make it.
he won't make it.
He
I
doesn't
don't
have that
think.
kind of boost.
Yeah.
He's got
Werewolf
weed.
will, but not the
He's got
regular.
150. So like if you thought Bionic Redneck's boost was too low, Ozzy's
Right.
would also be too low.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a moment to help it. There's nothing to supplement that boost with Ozzy. There's nothing to supplement um like Hall of Fame DDP, maybe, you know?
His moment, the JBL and
Oh,
Bradshaw
okay.
Hall of Fame moment actually puts him, and that's actually putting Kurt Angle. So DDP won't last as long as, but Kurt Angle is back
Okay.
in the conversation as one of the top guys. He can do 120 million right now, so he can't. So again, so he won't hang if things go move damage and gems don't go up much, but health does go up. Hall of Fame Angle won't last long either. But him and DDP are both hanging in there right now, so they're maybes for sure.
Okay.
Ilya is going to make. I mean, your S plus tiers, with the exception of Trish and Solo, are likely going to hang for a little while. But who
Okay.
knows? See,
I think Vader might be safe because
Vader's
he's doing
safe
reinforce and multi.
into multi. Yep.
Uh, I
Seth
think Yeet
Leonardo
J.
won't
Oh yeah, you're right.
because he's
Because it's
bonus
bonus
damage
damage.
based on percentage of whatever, and that doesn't scale usually.
Jey Uso, because he does 375% damage to black gems,
Right.
right? That seems really good, or at least, stronger than Naomi, even, who I thought was a pretty safe bet.
I think Naomi's
Um,
fairly safe. Yeah, I think Yeet, especially with the Devil's Yeet combo, Jay's gonna hang in for a good long time.
how about the rabbit, Ramblin' Rabbit? Increase your black move damage by 250% to hit that big finisher, and it's like a 60 million pop on that finisher.
60 million if health pools go up to 300 or 250, which is just a very uneducated guess, but I wouldn't be surprised. He won't
Yeah,
hang. He just won't hang in
when you
that.
put it like that.
That's what happened to Triple H, though. That's what I'm saying. Like that's like Triple
Yeah.
H was your move. DX Army Triple H was your move damage guy,
Huh.
and he fell. He fell. Now he's an X-Break guy if you have the right things. But Ramblin' Rabbit is great for this meta. But again, I think A tiers,
Oh
unless it's
no,
like a Hogan, is not
Ramblin'
going to make it.
Rabbit, RR. He's the new Rockin' Roman, RR. Oh no, this is terrible. This is terrible news.
Oh, don't make Rockin' Robin in the game. Legends era female. Well, she won't last. No.
Oh man. All right. Well, I
Uh,
think we're out of time for today. We talked about
yeah.
just about everything and more that we had in our show notes. We didn't get to Saturday night main event, but you know what? Um, it was so much better
Right.
than I could have ever asked for or even imagined. How about you, Lee?
Yeah, I think I texted you right as that first return happened at the end of the very first match, and I said, "Oh, this is already not a house show." Because a lot of times, Saturday Night's Main Event is a house show.
Right.
This is already not a house show, and there was two major returns. Like Cody Rhodes came back. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. To feud with
Yeah,
Logan Paul, that's weird. That's kind of I don't know. I don't know which one they're trying to put over with that. So
I think
stay
Logan's the
tuned.
next world champion. I'm just saying.
Man,
Way
why you
to
gotta
end
go
on a
pee at my
note.
tea? You know? Ugh. All right. Well, take us out, Lee. I'll just say this. Come on, guys. If you don't subscribe, share this with a friend. Try to get them. If you don't subscribe, obviously subscribe. And then if you know a friend that doesn't, send us their way, and maybe we can help them too. And along the way, subversively, kind of help our channel grow, which is what we're really trying to do at this season in our content. So thanks for all you do for us, and we hope to continue to do great things for you.
I mean, I think he closed us out. Well, other than to say, hey, we didn't sell out. We're not all about just likes and subscribes and all that. We've always been saying, please help us out. We've always been the underdog. And in the grand scheme of things, we are very underdoggy still, but we're here for you. The reason we do this podcast, like, we literally don't really get anything out of this other than time together and investing in the community because we love this community disproportionately compared to other hobbies, at least for me, that I have, because I don't really have a whole lot of other hobbies. But anyway, so please hit those buttons and join us on the next episode where we'll talk about something we haven't even decided yet. See you on the next one, friends. Bye bye.